Check, check. What if I'm just, one second. What if I'm just forced to stand here for the monologue? Does that work? Angles?
It's sad, but it's
Yeah.
so.
Okay. Rather than going there and coming back. Is this the best position? Should I move the table more in the center? Like when we have the conversation, is the table better more in the center, or is this where we want it? Because we could move it slightly over.
Yeah, you can move where you want.
Well,
Do you want a hand?
well, just maybe visually.
Yeah, because you'll get more light. When you stand up,
Yeah.
suddenly you lose the light.
So we can move this, I would say what? And also keep in mind, this is going to be kind of in between. That makes sense.
Right, oh yeah, and it makes the logo right there. Very nice.
Let's see. That's enough.
Because I'm obsessive compulsive. When I watch people's podcasts, I just keep rereading their thing behind them over and over.
Oh, yeah? Well, this feels more like a center on, whereas there I felt like I was kind of on the corner. So.
And it is centered for talking art, so
It is a centrifugal thing.
I think
Yeah.
for the integrity of the business, you should center the table and make solid.
You mean completely centered?
No, I think you're good.
You're more centered, as it were.
Your guest is centered.
Yes. And it's a centering thought.
We're streaming live now.
Oh. Hello. You know, it's the hardcore ones and twos of fans that we have online. Someday we'll have twos and threes. And maybe hundreds. I don't know, who knows. You know, it'd be good to be, oh, I guess I could turn off the music here. This is kind of so did you say we're actually, we're recording? Okay, so this is kind of part of the show, why not? Yeah. I'll take out the glasses, I can read better. You know, I was told 10 years ago that I might be blind in 10 years. Yeah. I went to we could do more lights if you want, but you know what, it doesn't matter if this is better, I can see you guys. Okay. I went to get checked out for laser surgery, and the doctor checked me out and he said, oh no, we can't do laser surgery on you because you have this condition that's kind of rare, and you know, maybe in about 10 years or so, you might notice that your vision's really gotten really bad to the point you might go blind. And it's really weird because like 2 days before that, a friend and I were just chatting, and we kind of asked ourselves the question, if you had to give up one of your senses, you know, what if you had to choose between sight and sound, what would you give up? And both of us knew each other through the music scene, and we were into the music, and we both said, well, that's obvious, I'd rather give up my sight. Because I never, like, and I truly believe that. And it's like 2 days later, you're going to lose your sight. But good news, I haven't really noticed a big difference. And in some ways, if it's really bright, hardly any difference. It's just when it's dark and when it's steamy. Then it gets more like clouded. And that's what they told me. Eventually, your lens will fill up with, it'll feel like Vaseline is covering the lens more and more until you just see like light. I thought that might be fun. I don't know. Like if you...
It will look like a movie shot from a 40s movie.
Yeah, like a real bad print of it. So anyway, I don't know. I'm getting off track, but I'm starting. You know, I kind of miss taking acid. I've done it a lot in the past. Really, not until my 40s, I mentioned earlier with Andrea, did I even try, that sounds better, psychedelics. So I don't take drugs, I take psychedelics. And one of the things I notice is that when you're in an altered state like that, you have experiences that lead you to believe that you were given some truth or some greater truth or some more clarity or some access to an understanding that you didn't have before. And it's really brought me to believe that most of the examples historically of groups and movements forming based on somebody's vision is really a psychedelic trip. That person had a psychedelic trip. I mean, the burning bush and all that stuff. I totally get it, which is fascinating because I arrived at psychedelics with this very rationalist approach. And I dismissed, a lot of it in this way. Not dismissed the experience of it. I really couldn't. I knew I would like that. But I heard all these people talk about how they experienced some spiritual, access, and they talked to God and those sorts of things. And I thought, well, that's easily explained with like brain chemicals and this and that. I just I'm curious to see what it's going to do to me because I want to experience that from my perspective. Like a Vulcan brain that sees through it all, and see what that's like. But what I found what was really interesting is that I came out of it not believing it, but understanding it, but maybe also believing it in the sense that I feel like a part of me experienced that. Maybe let's call it not my rational side, my body systems, experienced those experiences, and without words, needs to explain it in some way to the system. So you have this weird psychedelic experience. How do you understand that if you're pre-verbal, for example? You'd have, iconic type experiences. You'd feel like you're talking to God. There's sunshine and movements and sound. You'd get very basic, fundamental access to the world and the universe, because that's what we have before we add words to it. And it's interesting, we're at the Center for Talking Arts. So when you talk, something interesting happens. I often talk about splitting ourselves into, I think there's many parts of us. I think some of us have more parts than others. Some of us have like almost autonomous parts of us that take over. We often call that a dysfunction. Sometimes not. Sometimes it's useful. I've tried to basically, I guess over the years, without even thinking about it, trying to make it into one, like some integration, like one entity that speaks for the whole system. Getting off track. Hello, we've got, oh great, we've got some more of the guests on the show. Where was I? I was talking about, oh yeah, so one of the things that it experiences that it gave me was that, and this is why it's another thing that I often talk about, is like, it kind of half jokingly, but kind of half serious. I think everyone's kind of talking about it. It's like, is it the end of the world? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it feels like the end of the world. Everything's fucked up. I don't get it. Nothing makes sense. It's all bullshit. That kind of an approach. And I want to report that that's probably true. I mean, it is coming to an end in the way we know it. Did I turn off the music? There we go. I hear music. It's weird. Yeah. So anyway, one of the things I want to stress here is that this is the Center for Talking Arts. So we have various talking arts. Comedy is the most common one that happens here, and we have some great examples of comedy, I think, mostly tonight. I'm not sure if Scott's going to be doing any music tonight? Just comedy. Okay. So we're going to have mostly comedy. I think Larry's going to do some cartooning, maybe. Yeah? No? No? Oh, that's not your tools. That's your cards. Oh, you got your Christmas cards. Yeah.
I can show some Christmas cards.
Christmas cards, yeah. Some of your visual art. So, we'll mix it up.
I'll try to be cartoonish during my performance.
Well, yeah, we can count on you for that. Yeah, the local legend Larry Smith, he's going to be on. We've got a great lineup. We've got Andrea Rodrigues, Dale B., Jagan Krishnan, Larry Smith, Papa Charlie, and Scott Danley. Basically in that order. Let's get it started. Andrea Rodrigues. So come out on that side, and hopefully that mic's on.
Hi. So good to be here with Turkish Joe Rogan. happy about that. We've got Korean Dale, white Scott. We got some black men here. No, you're Indian. So sorry, sir. So sorry, it's dark. I don't have an actual set, but Jake was talking about it being the end of the world. And Jake, I really hope that's not true because I just convinced a man to move in with me. It can't be the end of the world, Jake. All these years, all that work, it can't be the end. That's true. I'm moving, and I just had dinner with my downstairs neighbor yesterday as a farewell, and she's pretty happy to see me go, me and my very loud vibrator. She's happy about that. I actually wore this shirt it's the first time I'm wearing this shirt, okay? And Scott very kindly called me a referee earlier on, and I appreciate that. So if anyone else has comments about the shirt, let me know. It's the first time I'm wearing this shirt, but I've owned this shirt for about 3 years. I bought it when I went on a solo vacation because my boyfriend at the time didn't want to come with me. So, moral of the story, gents, don't let your girlfriend go on vacation alone. She will buy a shirt like this. And she and you will regret it. So, please consider these things. Yeah, well, the reason I got into comedy was because I ended that relationship. You know, because he didn't come with me and because I bought this shirt, the relationship ended, right? And it got me into comedy. And yeah, I mean, it's been a trip. That relationship dissolved for multiple reasons, more than the shirt. But ultimately, what really came between me and that person in the relationship, I was pretty brainwashed by a therapy cult. So I was in a therapy cult for about 8 years. Yup, thank you. And I think that just shows my dedication and my commitment. So put a ring on it, right? I was in this therapy cult, and it started off like normal therapy, but it eventually led to me isolating myself from everybody in my life, including my family. And yeah, there is a point where therapy goes too far, guys, and I think that might be it. I don't have a lot of punchlines. I didn't know what today was going to be like, so I'm not really prepared. I was also going to talk about my, once I used to date a schizophrenic man. Yeah, so that was really fun because I felt like I was in an orgy all the time. You know, very adventurous. And I didn't realize he was schizophrenic at first. He really slowly discovered the schizophrenia. And for me, once he started telling me the radio was talking to him, I knew probably I should go. But he kept promising me really crazy things. Like he would say that because I was dating him, when I would die, I would get all the riches in the world. And so that's how you know I'm not materialistic, I'm just spiritual. Right? Again, put a ring on it. Okay, well, you know what? That's all I've got today. So, Jake, that's the end. I'm usually funnier, so I apologize to everyone. But thank you so much for listening to my story.
Andrea Rodrigues, thank you. Very nice. Thank you so much. It's not a pirate shirt, I guess. It's not really.
It's probably going into the donation bin after today, right? Can I get, please, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like George Costanza. Yeah.
It's got a George Costanza feel, and I don't really want to look like that, right? So hands up if you think this shirt should go. Scott,
Well, I mean,
really?
it's useful. It has its places. You know,
All
you're
right.
not going to wear it everywhere.
Thanks, gentlemen. Huh? Thank you. Thank you.
Whoa. Yeah, I already lost track what I was going to say. So you've been coming here quite regularly. You've got this kind of like, innocent ingenue kind of attitude on stage. Is that you? See?
That's really nice to hear. I am a very straight edge person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke. But I like to be kind of like, I like to talk about bad things, you know?
Yeah.
So
I'm happy to talk
I'd say
about
like
that
my
thing,
life
yeah.
is pretty straight edge, but I've lived a different kind of life. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah?
used to be pretty
Well, you were in a therapy cult for 8 years.
I was in a therapy
that
cult.
indicates that there was some kind of turmoil that needed addressing, and then you over-addressed it, maybe? Is
Jake?
it- yeah.
You were right. Yes, I was in a very dysfunctional family, and my parents were kind of crazy. I did a lot of drugs growing up. I was just didn't really care for myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I started doing therapy to like get better.
Mm-hmm.
And then, a couple schizophrenic men later, a couple,
Wow.
a couple.
So you're drawn to a type? What? Like, why do
Am
you?
I drawn to a type?
like-
well, I hope not now.
Okay.
Now
but why
I
do you
feel
think
like-
that was? It's like there's a pattern. Maybe you're thinking.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. There. I
So
mean,
what
I
was
love
going on there?
psychology.
Yeah,
I
tell me
do
what you
really
think.
like
Yeah.
therapy, so I like to, dive into that world. For sure, there was a type.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, because I was a type. Like I think I had very addictive tendencies, and so I was drawn to people who were like that.
Yeah.
So I like used people as well as using substances.
Right.
But yeah, that type usually is neglectful, schizophrenic sometimes, and I've been with all kinds of really strange men.
Interesting. And so you said it's like you would consider it a cult? Is that what you said?
So the therapy cult
Cultish?
was all women.
Okay. Yeah.
It was all women.
Mhm.
And the therapy leader, she was, it was weird because like some of it was good and some of it was really toxic. So combining the two things made it very confusing.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I left because they convinced me that I was like intentionally like, they basically convinced me I was an evil person.
Oh.
Which is wild, right? Like
Yeah.
that's anyway. So I left,
Wow.
and then I really felt like my world was upside down because I didn't have
Yeah.
like I had cut so many people out of my life.
Mhm.
But yeah,
So they said you're evil with the hope that they would have the answer to fixing you, and then
yeah, or like
keeping
that
you
I would
there
never
and-
get fixed, and like
Right.
thank goodness I'm in this group so that I can get better because I'm so
Yeah.
sick. You know what I mean?
But it's interesting though, isn't it? Like even cults, like I feel like they have their effective parts. It's
Totally,
like
that's what
they're
makes
often
them hard
based
to
on things
leave.
that are
Yeah,
helpful, right?
yeah.
Like you have ritual, you have process, you have like repetition, you have,
Yeah.
and these things are often useful to you. Like just moving your fucking body and being with other people
Yes.
is enough
Yeah.
to take people out of a depression and change their lives.
Yeah. And
Like
I-
it's like solitude fucks you up, whether you
Yes.
like it or not. Yeah.
Definitely. And then when you like open up like emotionally, that kind of locks you in more, right? Because you're being vulnerable and like divulging like the depths of yourself and feeling like these people really understand you, but you're paying money to be there, and then you're isolated from other people, you don't have real friends, like
Ugh.
it's not good.
Because I've always thought, and we often joke, but quite seriously, of starting a social club, calling it like fake cult, and having like cult rituals, with a nod, wink, wink. It's bullshit, but it's actually useful because it's like getting people together. It's like doing things together, and maybe a little bit of yoga or whatever. Keep it simple.
Yeah, community.
Like
I think just community
it will
is,
actually
is
work.
good,
It's
right?
like the placebo effect.
Yeah.
Or the nocebo effect. It's like it's a placebo. That's I think I was kind of getting at that with the psychedelics. Is like I realize it. Like you could see this as bullshit. Like that I talk to God, because sometimes I feel like I have. Like
Sure.
even though I don't believe in God, right? So the talking part of me doesn't believe in God, but the other part of me is like I fucking talk to him. What are you talking about?
Sure.
It's
But
like
it doesn't have to be just one thing, right?
Right.
Like you can think both of those things, and
Yeah. But it's usually your thinking, talking part that takes over, right? Because that's the part that gets to function in this world. Your body's often neglected. And it's thought to be crazy, some of the ideas that you get from it. It's not to be trusted. That's how I
Yeah.
used to think when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you in tune with your body, do you think?
I'd say for the most part.
Yeah?
I mean, there are times where I have lapses, right? But I think now I have a better relationship with myself, and then also a better relationship with my body to like know when things are right and wrong
Yeah.
for me, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's called intuition for a lot of people, right? It's like sometimes you just have this sense of an understanding, and that's, kind of like that pre-verbal thing that you have. And I tend to think of, our bodies are geniuses. Like they're kind of like these autistic geniuses because they have certain types of cognition but not others. And it's like we have access to some kind of a genius within us if we know how to talk to it,
Yeah.
right? And usually when I'm on psychedelics, I feel like I can talk to it. Like I have both sides talking to each other, which is amazing because then you get the sense that you see everything in like multiple perspectives at once. It's really amazing. Yeah. So I miss it. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. I've done mushrooms maybe twice in my life, but nothing else. Like no other psychedelic. So I always wanted to do acid, but I'm too scared. I don't think I'll ever do it.
To be honest, I think that's the safest one.
Yeah.
It seems to be the most
I
consistent,
think it'll break
the most
me.
predictable. Well, it's more of an emotional thing, yeah, if you feel it. Yeah.
I think, Scott, it'll turn me schizophrenic.
Well, that's not a bad. I mean, I don't think it's harmful to you, but except for that one occasion where if you might be likely to become schizophrenic.
Yeah, like my
And then
gut
if you
feeling
take
is
that, it might speed it up. Is what I think happens. It just kind of gets you there faster. That's possible. So like, wait until you're 35. You've already gone past that. You've already. I mean, I think we are past time anyway. But
Cool.
Andrea Rodrigues, thank you very much.
Thank
Always
you.
fun seeing you perform and chatting with you. Thank you. Awesome. See you soon. Yeah. All right. More about the end of the world and all that, but no, Dale B is coming up. I'm not very familiar with his. I do recall he's been here a couple of times. I think he's going to do comedy. Dale B.
Good evening, CFTA. Thank you for coming out. Basically just going to do a bunch of one-liners. I'm a one-trick pony. Checked the forecast for the holidays recently. Apparently, it's going to be a brown Christmas. Been real worried about charity scams these days. Always just tugging on my heartstrings, which is why I asked to see their stump now. Friend of mine lost an arm in a horrific motorcycle accident, but on the other hand, he's got a cool new hand. Got another friend who lost both of his legs in a different horrific highway accident. Asian drivers, am I right? But on the other hand, he now only has to pay 50% for his therapy for body dysmorphia. Been trying to teach my girlfriend about the powers of semen retention, but she keeps spitting it right back out. I used to obsess over films about Japanese culture. Always thought they were very interesting. It started with The Last Samurai, then ended with Oppenheimer. I got an acid joke too. Dropped acid and went to IKEA. Felt like I was stuck in that game, The Sims. But I did have a revelation. The toilets are for display purposes only. Friend of mine went to Greece and brought me back a chia pet as a gift. The back hairs on that thing's been growing like crazy. Been looking for some good escape room reality shows to watch lately, but to be honest, none of them compare to the classics like Columbine. Friend of mine moved into a new house recently and tells me it's haunted. He thinks it was built over a sacred native burial ground. I asked him, "How do you know this?" And what he tells me is, every night after midnight, loose change and beers go missing. Got a Ukrainian friend who's extremely concerned about his older brother because he volunteered to go over there and fight in that war. Sorry, I totally fucked that up. Basically, he's afraid of losing all communications with him. I don't like to see him upset, so to make sure they can keep in touch, I got him a Ouija board. Got an extremely health-conscious friend who tells me to stop using the microwave altogether, so I started steaming all of my cantaloupes before fucking them. Recently found out about a deaf-mute K-pop band that performs in sign language. Apparently, they've been around for a couple of years, but I just haven't heard of them. In grade school, I was one answer away from becoming a spelling bee champion, but at the last minute, this Indian kid won. Kills me to this day that the word was deodorant. If only Anthony Bourdain's hotel had no reservations that night. He might have gone hot tubbing with Matthew Perry instead. You know, the Chinese genuinely do believe in the cleansing powers of their traditional medicines. And I guess that's why they've been flooding the streets of the West with fentanyl. Alrighty. Took my girlfriend to see Deep Purple, but the cops have been calling it domestic violence. All right, thanks.
Dale B. Thank you, Dale. Awesome. Do a lap there. Yeah, so you're relatively new to me, so I mean, this is kind of like, I like to call this a conversation rather than an interview, but maybe I'll ask questions because I don't know you.
Yeah,
right?
go ahead.
I mean, I say this in the most loving way, but you look like, I don't know, you collect comic books or something like that. You got that vibe going on. Is that, kind of like nerdy chic? Is that you?
Something like that. When I first started, everybody would just heckle me, call me a school shooter. I mean, they still do, but it's an angle that I've been just, playing off of, and it's worked out so far, I guess.
Yeah. Would you ever consider shooting up your school?
Can't answer that here.
I mean, how old are you, if I could ask?
Mid-30s.
Mid-30s, yeah. That's, I think of life in like 7-year cycles, right? And mid-30s is kind of like a transition point. It's like 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. It's like you kind of become a different person like almost every 7 years, give or take, like 5 to 9 years. And if you look back, historically I've looked back at my life and a few friends, and it seems to fit. It's like, 0 to 7, you're just kind of figuring out what it's to be human. 7 to 14, you're like figuring out a lot of shit about being like a person. 14 to 21, your basic teenage years, and then you go to education and start working, become an adult. It's like, do you feel like you're in a transition?
Absolutely, because I dropped out of college about 7 years ago.
There you go. So it's time for another cycle.
Yeah.
What's that cycle going to be?
As many sets as I can get doing comedy before the Russians land.
So it's the Russians. So it's a conscious effort on your part. Is it like what else are you doing? Like, you're doing open mics? Are you studying comedy? What are you up to?
I'm basically just doing open mics and trying to get book spots.
Yeah.
More or less that, playing the game itself, I guess.
Mostly in the Hamilton area, or where else?
Toronto and GTA, but there's a lot of places that I probably won't even bother going to.
Why is that?
I mean, I know they're not going to laugh at my stuff, or it's just a bunch of woke, vibey, clicky stuff, and I don't care about any of their shit, and nor do they care about mine, so...
So you performing in Hamilton and Toronto, do you notice a difference? Because some people, I've heard both ways. I'd like to hear what...
I think every spot is a hit or miss.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter if
do you notice any differences between like the styles of what? Because I've heard people say in Hamilton, some people first said you can get away with more in Hamilton, but then on the other hand, I hear I hear other people say, no, you're kind of like more woke in Hamilton. Like, I don't know what the fuck to think. I mean, I only know this place, and it's
No, I
like it
think the
allows quite a
former
bit.
was correct. I definitely
Yeah.
felt like I could say raunchier shit and people wouldn't try to vibe
Yeah,
that or
I
some
mean,
black
yeah,
shit
people
like that.
understand you're performing. It's, I mean, it's not quite a persona, but it's a performance, and it's okay. And it's like often the joke is about the structure of the symbols and the words that you're talking about that makes it funny. So, but I mean, not everybody's that sophisticated. And to get that, but then on the other hand, not everybody's sophisticated. They make very unsophisticated, stupid jokes and think, you know. So it's like goes both ways. Like it's hard to figure out.
I mean, it's just comedy. They don't have to
Yeah.
like my stuff, nor do I have to like theirs. It's
Exactly.
nothing personal. It's just, you know, I know
Yeah.
what rooms to avoid and which cliques to just not ever bother. And I wish somebody told me on day one, it's just, these are the rooms you don't fuck with. These are the guys that don't even bother trying to make them laugh. These are the guys, if they laugh at your joke, you might as well throw that bit away. Just stuff like that. Yeah.
I like that. So yeah, you're figuring some shit out. It sounds like, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know what makes me and my friends laugh, and, you know, if
Yeah.
it works, it works.
You have friends?
Yeah. Couple. 2 whole friends.
That's great. Isn't it great to have friends? We were just, you know, we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
You got to be around other humans. Because I feel like part of me, like, I don't like being around a lot of people. I think that. I used to think that. But then I realized I actually do. It's just my brain is too busy, like, overthinking shit. And that's what made it uncomfortable. But as soon as you stop kind of overthinking shit, I actually like being around people. It's kind of fun.
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
that weird?
No, I mean...
You
my
might
fr-
get there.
I mean, with friends, it's just been helpful for comedy, having brutally constructive criticism pinging back and forth.
Yeah,
So,
that is helpful.
ping.
Yeah, it can't be, as long as they're not cruel. But then again, cruel's funny, too, sometimes.
Yeah, it's all good. We're friends.
Yeah.
We can kick each other in the balls. I mean...
Rochambeau. Dale B. Dale, thank you. Awesome. Thank you very much. That's great. I think, yeah, we've got our next performer coming up. Yeah, I've seen him a few times. Very funny. Jagan Krishnan. Jagan.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jake. I'm Jagan. I love coming here. I've been here a few times. And that's mainly because this is probably the only place that I've ever been to where the bathroom says, please don't do coke in the bathroom. I've never seen that kind of disclaimer anywhere. Because that makes me think that somebody actually tried. And the question is why? I don't know if coke is a stand-up comedy kind of drug. Maybe some other reason. Yeah, is it? Really? Okay, I thought it was more like a party drug. And if you're not able to go to the party, that's when you do stand-up comedy. So, I don't know, maybe that's just me. Okay. Yeah, a little bit about me, and I don't like working out. Not a big fan of it, as you can clearly see. Because I don't like going to the gym, because I don't see the point of it. I don't see the point of you paying so much money to go to a place that is filled with fit people working out with equipments that you're never going to be able to touch in your entire lifetime. And you go there and you feel shitty about yourself. I think that's such an expensive and complicated charade, right? If I ever have to feel shitty about myself, I have a easier and simpler and cheaper route. There's my mother, okay? It's so simple, it's so easy, all I have to do is just call her. You know, even last night I just called her. No, I didn't even say hello. The first thing that she said was, Jagan, you became fat. That's the first thing, it's nothing else. And that hurt me so deeply because she's in India and it's not even a video call. I have no idea how she knew. And that made me feel worse, right? But that's mother, but there's one character, there's one aspect of, one quality that I actually genetically inherited from her, is that I'm cheap and I'm proud of it. That's the worst part. And not cheap because, you know, I don't want to spend money or I just want to be very conservative with my, bank account or something like that. it's like a kink for me. I don't know how to explain it because paying less for stuff excites me. You know, I know it's weird. I know it's weird. You know, to explain it very simply, you guys get high by rolling joints. I get high on rollback sales. That's it. It's so simple. It's so easy. But that's just me. You know, it's gotten progressively worse. You know, discount flyers from Walmart turn me on. Okay, that's how I don't. You know, like I look at discount flyers like 50% off on vegetables, and it'll be like, oh, yeah. Dude, I don't do OnlyFans. I do only flyers. Okay. I don't even need to subscribe for it. Comes in the mail for free. And that's just me, I am so cheap, and I'm really, for some reason, I'm proud of it. You know, I'm so cheap that when I became a father, I became a father of twin girls. Yeah, you know what that means? Even in parenthood, I went for the buy one, get one. That's the level of my cheapness. And I'm so happy and I'm so glad about it for some reason. I know. But there's one aspect of cheapness that I don't like. It's when people assume that I'm cheap. I think that's weird. Don't do that. Like, I know I'm cheap. Please allow me a chance to exhibit my cheapness. Because I am proud of it, right? I always walk up to some sort of shop, even like if I walk up to Tim Hortons. Like, before I'm about to pay, you know what they'll do? Like, they go to the card machine and then they'll select the no tip option for me. Why would you do that? It's my choice. I will choose the no tip option, not you. Yeah, I know. Some people think that's very weird. You know, tipping is actually something that you need to do. Because I don't care. Because I found so many words, so many synonyms for cheap, you know, like crazy words. English has a lot of words, like frugal, efficient. And there's one word that attracted me so much, which is Spartan. Yeah, that's an actual synonym for the word cheap. Spartan. With this body, there is no other way that I'm ever going to be equated to a Spartan. My only way is to be cheap. Right? And at one point of time, I know what's going to happen. Somebody will be like, I'm not going to tip. And they'll say, you are not tipping. This is madness. And that's my chance. And I'll go, no, this is Sparta. Thank you so much. That's been my time. Yeah.
Jagan Krishnan. Thank you very much. Awesome.
Thank you.
Funny stuff. You seem very seasoned, like you've been doing this a little bit.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
doing it back in India for quite a while. So.
Oh, back in India,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I'm from there.
Yeah.
That's not obvious.
So,
yeah.
but not in English, though.
No, not in English though. Yeah.
So that's amazing. You got it in 2 languages. That must be a great kind of a perspective
but
to have.
we used to, like, we all started in English way back. So in
Yeah.
India, then it slowly, like, people started doing it in their own regional languages.
Regional comedy. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so-
it's got to be that way, I guess.
Yeah, because
right?
it's much better. It's much more efficient. You can pull
Sure.
more audience in
Yeah.
that way. So
That makes sense.
we started
There's a
navigating it.
lot of regional dialects.
Yeah.
So how does one make it in India as a comic when you're kind of stuck to your local geography
Yeah,
because of your dialect?
Yeah. So
Are they able to like get out?
of course,
Yeah.
many people do it in many other places, right? Like
Yeah.
there are Indians everywhere.
Yeah.
I know.
I know. But is one region funnier than others? Like, is that where, like in Turkey, that's where I'm from, and it's like the northeast Black Sea coast.
Uh-huh.
That's where a lot of entertainers come
Yeah.
from for some reason.
So
it's
that's
like
everywhere
They're
then.
singer dancers.
Yeah,
It's
I
kind of
know.
like Newfoundland here. You know, everybody plays a fiddle. It's like India. Has that?
So I'm from the south of India, right?
Yeah.
So for some weird reason, I do this as a joke itself. I don't want to do this as a bit because it's too honest and
Yeah.
genuine. So, but the general bit is like how you have a region in every country where people have a completely different culture, a
Yeah.
completely different language.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, and they're every other part of every other person in the rest of the country think that they are assholes.
Yeah.
Like basically Quebec of
Well,
everything, yeah.
Some
Yeah,
might
so
say,
I'm
but
from the
yeah.
Quebec of India, right? So I'm from the south of India. So if you think of India, everybody imagines that you speak Hindi, and everybody
Right.
imagines. So I don't speak Hindi, so
Yeah.
I don't even know. I can understand a bits and pieces here. So
Yeah.
in the south, we speak a whole other language. So there is an assumption, typically like in most of the countries, like one part of the region, oh, you're doing, this is the South comedy, it's not going to be that good.
Right.
So yeah, that
East
still
Coast,
exists.
West
There.
Coast
Yeah,
rap.
exactly. Yes. Oh yeah, East Coast. Okay, I'm not going to get into that.
Oh, that's
That's
a
some
whole other
hardcore
thing.
shit. So no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the case, right?
Yeah.
So there are assumptions like that, but ultimately it's about whether you're funny or not. So
Do you do different kinds of comedy in each of those languages, or are they just basically the same kind of comedy? Like, does the language change the comedy?
yeah. So I used to think that you can just do like
Yeah,
a Google
it doesn't-
Translate
it
of
doesn't
it,
seem like
but
it, no.
it'll never work.
No,
So initially because I started it in English, so my joke writing, grammar, and everything, it all started with went from American and Canadian and British comedians.
Right,
So
yeah.
you understand the rhythm of the words and how
Sure.
you're supposed to structure the joke. But
Yeah.
when I started doing it in my language, the language
Mm.
that I speak, I found it very difficult because then I had to like relearn the grammar of how I'm supposed to write jokes. So it's not going to work. You cannot just do translating. So you have to write it fresh. And if you're going to deliver it, you have to deliver it very specific.
Yeah.
Because every language has its own rhythm, apart from the joke grammar and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
But it's like in a lot of cultures, a comedian, they don't even not every culture has comedy that's prevalent, but they often have what's kind of like the MC at the wedding kind of a guy,
Yeah.
right? So there's always that
Yeah,
element
yeah,
there,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I
Exactly.
know Indian weddings are amazing.
Again, which Indian
yeah.
wedding? Which side? There's
Yeah.
north, there's south, there's east. there's
Which
west.
one? So I'm
It's
I'm
crazy.
generalizing.
The south is like it goes on for like 3 days. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it goes on. It's crazy. There's no MC. But
Yeah.
now everything is changing. It's like it's full of rituals, and you get
Oh, it's
at the end
awesome.
of the
Yeah.
third day, you're pretty much like worn out, and you were like, okay, please get the fuck out.
Yeah, I was best
Yeah.
man at an Indian wedding, and it went
Really?
on for like 5 days, as I recall. That was a while ago. And then he did it again for the other
Wow.
side of the families.
So I had no
So
idea that Indian
twice.
weddings had a best man in the first place.
Well, I mean,
That's
they were
news to me. That's
combining
good.
that, you know,
yeah. I
that-
know.
that
So
aspect
now,
of it,
now it's
yeah.
becoming like a trend of sorts. So
Sure.
So the MCs, but yeah, like right now we have the DJ nights, which is probably called as Sangeets in Indian ceremony. That is across everything, but there, some random MCs are going to shout. But if you're at a wedding, the
Yeah.
brides and the grooms, they have their like own kind of thought.
Yeah.
They just want to get it over with and get away from all the other people, so they can spend the quality time together.
Right.
And the rest of the relatives were like, it's Indian wedding, so you're always going to complain about food. You're always going to complain about the hospitality. You're always going to complain about the music. So it's
That's
all
not
complaints.
too different
yeah.
than a Turkish wedding.
I
you
know.
it's
That's great. That's great.
not
yeah.
dissimilar at all. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it's a place I'd love to go to, especially. I mean, it's like 30 countries in one. Like it's
True. That's
like-
true. Yeah.
But they're having some political turmoil there recently, aren't they?
Always.
Always, right?
Always.
It's
yeah,
never
with
been
respect to
what
the
am I
foreign
saying?
relations,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But that's
It's so you'd say it's worse now with the foreign, like with
I don't know.
yeah, because I thought it was internal there.
It's
Because
never going
everyone's
to get
getting
better
cooked.
because
Yeah.
it's about like who you support and
Yeah.
what is your thoughts on it. But
Yeah.
generally, like the government that is running it right now, it's too hyper nationalistic, I can say.
Yeah,
So
that seems to be a trend throughout the world, right?
yeah. So many. I don't know if you've been under that kind of regime, you exactly know what is happening around that.
Yeah.
So, and especially when the world is going global, when everybody's exposed to every other culture,
Yeah.
hyper-nationalism seems like a reductive and regressive idea at this point of time.
Right.
So that's the reason why tensions are very, very high. So
That's
that's
true.
the reason why the fights are happening. But I don't know.
So what do you think about Canada becoming an American state?
Oh, wow. Under the current regime, I would prefer
Speaking
not.
of,
No.
yeah, right? But I
don't
fear
know, I
that
don't
people
know.
will actually ask for it. Like it's not. I don't think they'd have to actually take it. I mean, if like there's always like 50%. Look at Brexit; it was a ridiculous idea, but it passed because they had good advertising. You know, whatever. And overcome people's
Yeah,
fears.
yeah,
So
it's
it
about
seems
that.
like anything's possible. It's kinda
Exactly.
scary.
Anything is possible. I know.
These days, right?
That's why
it's
we
the
have
end of the world.
comedy. Hey.
You might as well laugh while we're all going down.
Of course,
right?
of course. Yeah, sure.
Jagan Krishnan.
Thank you so much. It's a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you so much.
Always great. Thank you very much. Awesome. Love it. Yeah, coming up next is, as I said, local legend. Larry Smith doing, he does his own thing. Larry Smith.
Man, I keep it going for Jake and this great program. And all the great comedians you've had on tonight. You know what? When the audience is mostly the comedians, you always have to say, let's hear it for all the great fucking acts tonight. That's how you have to start. Don't be an idiot. Now, as you've noticed, anybody watching at home, I don't know, is this the camera? Dexter, is that the camera? So if I'm looking at you people at home, I want you to tell you right now, as you've noticed, we had a female comic named Rodrigues. We had a Korean comic. We've had an Indian comic. And there's a couple other guys coming up earlier. I want you to know, as the middle-aged white guy, I am the diversity hire on this show. Because you can't have now what it is there's so many great diverse comics, you're not allowed to have a show without one middle-aged white guy. Used to be just all of us. We'd have like one, ethnic person on. But now, fuck it. I'm getting hired because we need an old white guy. All right, we'll get Larry. I'm a whore. I'm here because I'm here on Saturday doing my Larry Christmas live cartooning and comedy show. It's a live cartooning and comedy show. And I have Christmas cards for sale, hand-drawn, hand-colored Christmas cards for sale, just so the people watching online know I'm a real cartoonist. It's not. Oh. That's how you know I'm the old white guy. Is this the camera? Well, I fucking asked you, Dexter. I fucking asked you. I went, is this the camera? You said yeah. So like an idiot, I've been talking to a projector. Oh my God, and if you don't know who Dexter is, people at home, he's the guy who controls all the mics and the cameras, and I'm an idiot because I'm fucking with the guy who controls all the mics and the cameras. And I didn't even ask if I could swear on this program. I think I heard Jake swear earlier, but geez, it's being filmed in Hamilton. What the fuck do you expect? But I have lovely cards. That's the Batman, Jingle Bells Batman. Jingle Bells Batman smells one. I feel like Dr. Tongue on the 3D House of Stewardesses. Oh, fuck, none of you are old enough to remember SCTV. I am an old son of a bitch. Yeah, but I'm promoting my Christmas show. I fucking love Christmas. I love Christmas because we're Canadian and we're smart. And we have Christmas like a month and a half, almost 2 months after Thanksgiving. Not like the Americans who are idiots. They're like, why are we a violent nation? Because you have dinner with your family too close together. What the fuck are you thinking? We do it at the beginning of October and then we don't see those people till the end of December. United States of America, you have dinner with all these passive-aggressive assholes who come over and eat all your food and get on your nerves, and they leave, and you go, phew, and then it's ding-dong, fuck, they're back. And also, anybody who wants to eat turkey at Thanksgiving or Christmas or anything like that, you're allowed to eat turkey. If you are a vegetarian, you are allowed to eat turkey because turkeys are the dumbest bird on the planet, and God wants us to eat them to keep them from populating. I'm telling you right now. I had a buddy growing up, Ian Phillips, when I went to Niagara College Theater Program. That's right. This is where an education can get you. Niagara College Theater Program, it was in Welland, where I learned Welland French. Do you know Welland French? Here's a little Welland French. Tabernacles de Coles. What the fuck you mean you don't have old Vienna on tap? So anyhow, I went there. No, my first day at college, I smoked a big fat joint because I wanted to have a good first day. I'm paying for it. I want a good first day. And I got out on the street in Welland, Southern Ontario, and everybody's speaking French. Everywhere I looked, they're all like, oh, and I'm high going, oh, shit, I woke up on the wrong channel. So anyhow, I can't get off track because I got that AC/DC thing where you can't pay attention and get off track. Fuck, I know it's not called that, but who the hell gives you a disorder where you're hyper, can't concentrate and remember stuff, and they give you 4 fucking letters to remember? You can't walk, here's 2. Can't remember shit, here's 2 more. It's the same asshole invented the word stutter. Yeah, I'm going to put an ST at the start and 2 in the middle. That'll fuck them up. Like the word lisp. You can't say lisp without having a lisp. But anyhow, I'm off track. I'm talking about turkeys. My buddy Ian Phillips, he grew up on a turkey farm in Courtright, Ontario. I met him in Niagara College, and he told me turkeys are so stupid that if his family went on a picnic out near Courtright where he lived, and rain clouds started coming in, and they realized they'd left all the turkeys outside, his dad would jump on a picnic bench like an air raid siren and start going, "Everybody, get in the car! Get in the car!" And he'd get them all in the car, and they would drive like maniacs back to the farm, like insane people, back to the farm. Because you know what Ian told me? Here's what turkeys do when it rains. Hi. Hi. It's raining. And they will stand there for hours with their mouths open, staring at the water coming from the sky. He told me if they didn't get home in time, they'd encounter an entire barnyard full of hot water bottles covered in feathers. So eat turkey. Or we'll be up to our asses in those dumb fucking birds. I'd like to do a couple Christmas songs to promote my Larry Christmas cartooning comedy special that's here on Saturday, $8. It's 8 p.m., only $10 at the door. Fuck, come on out. So here you go. Here's a Christmas carol for all the people who aren't getting laid this Christmas. And not single people. I've been doing comedy 35 years, and you know what I fucking hate? You'll say to the audience, so many single people, and you have people that are in fucking couples. Oh, yes, we're single because we're not married. If you're fucking somebody, shut up. You're not single. If you fucked somebody last night and they never speak to you again, I still don't want to hear from you. Shut up. I'm talking real single people. This is a Christmas song, a cappella. A cappella is an Italian word. It means I can't afford a fucking guitar player. This is my a cappella song for all the people who aren't getting laid this Christmas. Have yourself because nobody else will. Now, this is a song I'm reviving. I was in a comedy duo for 15 years. I traveled all over Canada and the U.S. We were on Club 54 twice. And we used to do this song back when marijuana was illegal. And I prefer illegal marijuana. Because buying legal marijuana sucks. I used to buy illegal marijuana. I'd go to my buddy Jack's house, smoke a joint. He'd go to the freezer, get me some pot, and all would be good. Now I want to buy pot, and I'm trying to get to the show here tonight. Oh, fuck, I'm at 9:10. I'm probably going way too long. I'll just finish this story, Jake, and then you can interview me about psychedelic drugs and life and the universe and everything. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh, Club 54. And I'll do this song. I'll close on this song. This song was written back, I was going to say, you go buy pot in the old days to be at my buddy Jack's house, right? Now you go buy pot. I can't get my pot. I'm in a hurry to get here. I can't get my pot because I'm behind 2 fucking soccer moms in their yoga pants going, why is it called purple if it's green? So anyhow, this is my song about when pot was illegal. The Christmas song about when you had to hide your pot. The police never knock. The police never knock. The police never knock, they just kick your door in without a warrant. You gotta hide out your pot this Christmas. You gotta hide out your pot this Christmas. You gotta hide out your pot this Christmas, 'cause your brother-in-law's a narc. Thank you very much. Oh yeah,
Larry
this.
Smith.
I didn't do this joke. I do this joke every time I'm
Oh,
here.
yeah, do it. I'll
They
sit in.
have this sign in their bathroom here that says, "Please do not do coke in the bathroom." Yet it's the perfect thing to do coke on. It's like, ready, do not shoot up here on the side of a hypodermic.
Safe needle site. Awesome. Thank you, Larry. Larry Smith. Great.
Thank you for having me.
So this is how great your show will be on Saturday, right? I mean, it's your
Crazier.
Christmas special.
It's gonna be crazy.
Larry Christmas.
I'm building a
Yeah.
fake fireplace here.
Oh, yeah.
So that I can draw my cartoons.
Yeah.
There's going to be puppets.
Yeah.
And there's going to be singing.
Yeah.
And there's going to be audience participation.
Yeah.
And I even teach you how to draw twice during the show. Everybody gets paper
Very
and
talented
pens.
cartoonist.
Yeah, these are my cards.
I bought some Christmas cards this year. You have some? Yeah. Awesome. Original art.
Yes.
Like only $10.
$5
Good.
and $10.
Yeah.
The large cards are 10
Yeah.
and the small cards are 5. And people go, "Why do you sell them cheap?" Two
Yeah,
reasons.
it's really
I sell like
cheap.
a carpet salesman. Here you go.
Yeah.
2 reasons I sell them that cheap. 1, gonna move them, move them, move them, move them. Second of all,
Yeah.
I like the idea. This is really corny.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of 2 things. One, that every Christmas there's people all over the place that I don't even know about, and I'm not there, and I'm not aware of it, but they're having a moment where they're opening a card that somebody bought for me and gave to them that
That's
I
amazing.
made.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And the other cool thing is I like the idea, because I sell my art at my shows for like $10 and $20 too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm
That's
like,
cheap.
yeah, but I'm
Super
like
cheap.
this. I think people charge a lot for art, and I would like to know that somebody could own an original piece of art that nobody else owns, and it didn't cost them $500 or
Right.
something.
Yeah. I mean, you're giving the gift of an original artwork, essentially.
Yeah, plus I'm in
And it's a
Canadian
card, 'cause-
showbiz. I make
Yeah.
$10, $20. I have bought myself a quarter of weed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's twice what you get paid tonight, right?
Exactly. Most places in Canada, you at least get paid with a plate of fries.
Yeah. Right. You get maybe a drink in a
See,
couple
the
of
comics
weeks.
are laughing. They know that one.
Yeah. So Saturday, $10 only.
Yeah.
Larry Christmas.
Yeah, I
yeah.
priced it so that people have no excuse not to come.
Yeah. And you're also part of a sketch group that's been rehearsing here. Like what?
Yeah,
that
this
looks
is
really
a great
interesting.
spot.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about talking art.
Oh,
this is a great
please.
spot.
Toot our horn.
Okay, because I was here last Friday. They did a musical cabaret show. So not only did I do stand-up, I got to come out and sing Elvis and Frank Sinatra and all kinds of stuff and go crazy. And there was Faye doing show tunes
Yeah.
and stand-up. It was amazing. And then I got asked to be in the super sketchy sketch troupe
Yeah,
that's doing a
super
show
sketchy.
here a week after my show.
Yeah.
And
That's also
this
in
is
December.
you got just
Yeah.
so much amazing stuff going
Yeah.
here. Like
Or many
people
talking
are
arts.
people
Yeah.
are getting to like really spread their wings and do different
You know,
things.
it's true. Like I don't want to like brag or anything, but there's people that have indicated that it's changed their lives to come here and just like hang out, like become more confident. And there's some people that have never tried
Yeah.
stand up and have now become actually quite seasoned at it, like within months, or like getting
Yeah, we need more
Yeah.
good comedians because there
Yeah.
are like a ton of really bad ones.
yeah. Oh yeah. As with any art, right? You're gonna have like 90%
Yeah.
bullshit.
Oh,
But it's the gems that are worth digging through the shit. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
No, like
so-
I make that joke, but I'm semi-serious. All the good people that are good that come along, stick around. Right?
Yeah.
That's why you see Andrea a lot. I'm just talking because I know the Hamilton scene.
Yeah.
Andrea, you saw more and more and more and more and more of Andrea. Now you see Andrea all over the joint doing
Yeah.
stuff. Why?
Yeah.
Because she's good.
She is.
And then there's certain people you only see at certain nights, and you go, "Yep." And 20 years from now, you'll be doing this same certain night.
It can be a sad profession, right?
Well, yeah,
It's kind of a lonely thing.
Oh, it's
like
horrible. At
your
least in a-
lifestyle needs to be a specific way. It doesn't fit in with the regular family life. in most cases. I don't know. Like that's
What cracks me up is I always tell
Yeah.
people, if a novelist really wanted to write like the dark moment in doing stand-up,
Yeah.
it's you're on the road, like let's say Sudbury,
yeah.
and you just played a room,
In winter.
you just killed.
Yeah.
You just killed. It was fantastic. All these people had an amazing evening and all that. And then once all that's done, they all go off and bang each other and go off to other bars and have a great time. And you go eat gas station snack food on a bed in a shitty motel.
Yeah.
And that's what cracks me up. But you know what's funny? That's also romantic.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
You know? Like I tell
People
all
romanticize-
the shit that comics bitch about is the stuff you kind of romanticize about too, right? You know what I mean? It was like, oh, the room was terrible. Oh, where we had to stay and blah,
yeah,
blah,
but you've got
blah.
those memories. You've got those experiences.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
got something to draw on. It's your canon of life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I miss being on the road. I'd rather be on the road than be at home.
Really?
Oh,
But
shit,
even
yeah.
today, you'd love to.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. There were
Isn't it
times-
exhausting?
No, it's great.
Yeah.
I think if you're the right person,
Yeah,
if
you
you're
got a
the
lot of
right
energy.
person, no, I
Yeah.
know some comics.
Yeah.
Okay, Ben Guyett, okay, does not want to do any show that's further than a half hour from his doorstep. I swear
get
to
it,
God,
I get it.
I've told people, they go, oh, I booked Ben to do a show in Guelph, and I go,
Oh.
he's not going. They go, what? I go, he's going to get the flu. His mom's going to get sick. His car's going to break down. He's not going to Guelph. Guelph is an hour. He'll go a half hour, but he won't go an hour.
Oh, man,
Now,
yeah.
me,
Yeah.
you tell me we're going to drive to Sault Ste. Marie on Saturday? Yeah! I love gas
Wow.
stations. I love gas stations. I love being
like
in
the
the
gas
car.
station
I
sushi,
love
yeah.
motels.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I love all of it.
Even the motels with like the ground floor soggy carpets.
You
Why are
just
they
sleep-
soggy?
Hey,
I don't get it.
it's all part of the job, baby. You sleep with your. That's why you always have one hooded thing in your.
Yeah, like
and
sometimes you walk
sleep with
in.
your clothes on top of the blankets.
Ew. So I mean, Larry.
There for young comics. Advice for on the road. I always have a hoodie.
So you want to talk about psychedelics? You were saying you want to talk about psychedelics.
You were talking about
I talk about psychedelics.
Yeah,
quite often,
I've
yeah,
never
yeah.
done psychedelics.
Yeah.
I like Andrea and okay, Dexter.
No,
we
we don't-
understand. We heard the
sound.
little
We don't need the
ding-a-ling.
sound. Get
Every
that
time
sound
the
off.
fairy goes
Yeah.
off, poor Jake goes, "Well, you have to
I
leave."
get it, you know.
The evil fairy went.
It's hard to remember what the fuck I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Anyway, right?
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
psychedelics. Do you know what I've told
Mm.
people?
Because of psychedelics.
I only drank, and I don't drink anymore, which sucks because now I can only fuck people I like. And I started smoking pot when I was 22 because I was really good at drinking. So I didn't want to fuck that up. So I
Right.
didn't try pot till I was 22. When I was 29, I had my pancreatitis, couldn't drink anymore. So it's only been pot since I was 29 to 58. I've never tried Coke because my brain does not need a jump start.
No, and I
The
don't think
last
you need a
thing I need is
stimulant.
to be
No.
hyped up. I'm like, what are you, fucking nuts? No.
Yeah, I never mess with
And
that.
I
Yeah.
don't, because of cartooning, I don't want to do any psychedelics whatsoever because I am really afraid of what my brain will concoct for me.
Sure.
Because I look at my drawings and stuff and I go,
Oh, that would be
holy
fun to do, yeah.
shit, dude! You can't
could get scary.
can't go to your imaginary place. You will
These guys, yeah.
destroy yourself. Like it's too technicolor and goofy and wild. I've
They're
always
kind of psychedelic.
I've
looking,
always
yeah.
been scared of that.
Mm.
I always told people, no, I don't need to try that stuff.
Is there a dark side? Because you're very chipper, but you're tense and like,
Oh, I had one ex-girlfriend, Kelly
Yeah.
Gaston. She somebody said to her, oh, it must be great being with a comedian. He must be fun all the time.
Oh,
Larry,
yeah.
Larry seems like he must be fun all the time. And she was like, are you kidding me? He could be as fucking serious as a heart attack.
Yeah, right?
Do you know why I think most comedians do what we do? Because we've looked into the abyss and we know what a scary, horrible, fucking shitty place it is out there. I think comedians are people who at one point or another just felt, oh my God, we're in a dark fucking void. And the only defense against it is to laugh at it.
Wow. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's the absurdity of life. You gotta
Right.
laugh at it.
It's very
what else?
Beckett,
'Cause
but yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
existentialist.
Yeah, like I tell people, I mean, laughing isn't going to change anything, but I'd rather be laughing than crying. And
Yeah.
that's a choice.
Yeah.
We make choices.
It's fun when you do both.
You're in a situation, but you're in a situation, and I know all the guys here in this room, right? If a situation gets stressful or tense, do you not go to humor?
Yeah, it happened today, actually.
Right, but not everybody does. That's, for some reason, your being says when things get tense, what you need is a laugh. Like,
Yeah.
I had a stepkid for a little bit,
wow.
and it was the whole monster in the closet thing he was scared of.
Right.
And I told him, I said, Benny, you want to get rid of that monster? I go, point at it and laugh. Point at it, laugh your ass off, buddy. I went, because imagine being a big monster coming out going, "Arr!" And then some kids going, oh my God.
Yeah.
I go, if you don't take things seriously,
Bully tactics,
they lose
yeah.
all their power. I
Yeah.
know you got like a million more people to talk to.
No, we always enjoy your time on stage.
I'm
Thank
like,
you so
I'm
much.
loving talking to you, but I know
Larry
I go on
Smith.
and on.
Thank you very much, Larry.
No,
Awesome.
thank you.
Yeah, this is great. So much fun. Thanks. You know, we have a huge audience tonight. Mostly the performers. Our friend Simone's come in as well. How you doing? Good to see you again. So we've got a couple more performers to go. Yeah. And next is Papa Charlie. Papa! More comedy.
What up, y'all? All right, so I wasn't really expecting how the night was going to go, similar to Andrea. Am I saying that right? Andrea? Andrea. My apologies. So, Jake, thanks for having me. CFTA, Dexter. So I was like, talk show. What is this going to be like? It kind of feels like an interview, but I was like thinking, Jerry Springer, Maury, like, get him. He's sleeping with my wife. Who's sleeping with the host's wife? Jerry never did that, though, right? Just use it like a game of Guess Who. Can anyone say my wife's name? Click, 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 click. Steve's there. Steve Wilkos is in the corner. Anyways, I'm glad to be here. I don't think much of you guys know this, but I was in Jersey beginning of October for my first football game. Thank God it was right before the election. Anyways, when I was there, the game was for 1. I left Kitchener, I'm from Kitchener, at like 6 a.m. Get to the border around 8. Actually, I left around 2, fuck that up, but get there around 7. So I'm like one of like 8 cars there. And I'm like, I got time to work on my sign. They're questioning people. They're going slow. I hop out the trunk, get my sign, get my markers, jump back in my car. All of a sudden, they just start going car after car after car after car after car. They're like, we need to get to this guy right now that just hopped to his trunk. So I'm giving you a secret, how to speed up the border, or the line at the border. Just throw something out your window, or go to the back of your trunk. Why am I stumbling? It's only like 4 of you guys here. Nervous. I'm driving, only had 2. One before here, one when I was here. So I was talking to a friend the other day. She's like, I'm an A-type personality. I'm like, what is an A-type personality? Someone that's very direct, knows what they want, wants to be first all the time. First letter of the alphabet, very original, A-type personality. And then I had to think, like, what are the other personalities? YMCA? That's the whole spectrum. The whole village is right there. How the hell were the village people not booked for pedophilia? You would suspect it, but they weren't. I feel like the media goes through its cycles. pedophilia is not funny, but the media does go through its cycles. They're on artists right now, just came off of billionaires, actors before that, and priests before that. The NFL better watch itself. Donald Trump, that man. I don't know how he's going to have any meetings in Canada with Trudeau if he's a felon, because felons can't cross the border. So that's why all his shit's going to get expunged. But it's or he'll make Canada the great state of Canada, as he's been saying. I'm not making y'all laugh tonight. It's all good. Did y'all know a possum plays dead because it has anxiety? Did you know that? So imagine just like talking to your boss, looking at your credit card bill. Going back to just pedophilia, Jay-Z's been in the news as of late, raping a 13-year-old girl with P. Diddy. That is, it sucks because my Spotify list is dwindling down. I was like, okay, R. Kelly, cool. Puff Daddy, oh man, okay, cool. Now you're getting Jay? There's gonna be nobody left.
He's from Southside.
You Jamaica, brother?
No, he's from Southside Jamaica, Queens. New
Yeah,
York. That's
yeah.
where I was born.
Oh, okay, okay.
Different type of thoroughness about it. He makes fun of all that.
You'll end up dead, is what he's saying. I wish I really came more prepared for tonight, but thanks for having me, guys.
There's nobody left. That's really funny, bro.
I appreciate that.
It's really funny.
Papa Charlie, thank you very much. Awesome, thank you. That's great. Yeah, I like to see you around here on the open mics, which we have on Thursday nights.
Yeah,
Yeah,
doing better.
that's tomorrow. Yeah, you're getting better. Yeah, you are. Yeah, and then we're actually gonna start shifting gears a little bit in the new year. We're actually gonna be having basically Thursday, Friday, Saturday kind of a setup.
Open mics?
Yeah. Well, no, like open mics on Thursdays. It's always gonna be since that was the first show. We always have like open mics since we first opened on Thursdays. Saturdays will be the pro shows. So we'll have like ticketed shows, and on on Saturdays, yeah, and on Fridays it's kind of like a wild card. Shows like this you might see on Fridays, like talk shows, storytelling show, a poetry show, cabaret, that kind of thing. That'll be on Fridays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you sing? Do you?
I do
make
not.
music?
It's funny because I get that assumption a lot
Really? Why? What do you think?
because I look
You
like
look like-
it. I don't know.
You got
the
like a
appearance.
groove. You got.
I got the swag, but
Yeah.
I don't got the voice.
Yeah, no. So yeah, that Jay-Z thing kind of took a turn for the worse.
I
Is
saw that.
I
Like,
just saw headlines. I don't know, but
yeah,
it seems
within the
pretty
last
bad.
48
Yeah.
hours. I hope it's not true.
Yeah.
I hope it's not true.
Sadly, it might be. Yeah.
But sadly, it might be.
Yeah.
You never know with these guys, and
Yeah.
money is terrible.
Money's terrible.
Because
It
can
can lead you
definitely
down a path.
spoil
Yeah.
the brain, and
Mm-hmm.
the devil whispers sometimes. I'm not a religious guy, but
Yeah.
if money were the closest thing to it,
Mm.
yeah, definitely people get tempted.
It's like money has taken a life of its own. It's like an abstract thing that by convention we decide exists, and then it seems to kind of act on its own. Like there's capital moves towards, increasing capital and protecting itself. So like, money goes towards, snuffing out voices that might contradict it. So it's
I
just a
think-
natural
I-
life.
I think it also fosters bad situations, like putting you in
Yeah.
bad scenarios, right? Like how many people went to a Diddy party and never saw that,
Mm,
right? But
Yeah.
now they're affiliated,
right.
right? So
Yeah.
and that goes the same with a lot of these wealthy people
Mm.
that they have their back rooms where they do this, and there's a select people know.
Yeah.
But then you could just be a guest and oblivious and
It
be
could
like,
be.
I'm in a mansion. Oh my God, I got invited to this. And
Yeah, people get blind to
Yeah.
things. But you know, I feel like a lot of people who have like a wrong impression of wealthy people. Like I've known a lot of wealthy people, and they're just people. Like
They are.
they're as stupid as regular people.
Yes.
They just have money.
Yeah,
So it's
very
not
much so.
really. They're not necessarily evil or devious or anything like that. Like there's it's just fucking people. You know?
They are people.
Yeah.
I find though, it's intrinsic in humanity where we find differences.
Yeah.
And money is one of those.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're
Yeah.
saying they're just people, but then we know that there's classes to this shit.
Sure, there's
right?
always levels
Levels to it,
of a
right?
game, and it's like people treat it like a game,
Yeah.
right? And someone like Elon Musk is scoring points, like because it's
Exactly.
not money at a certain point, right? It's just points. It's like
But that's why you see Elon and Trump get along so well. Like
Sure.
you're not going to see Elon hang out with me.
right,
Right?
yeah,
He's going to be like, nah, you don't cut it. You know,
avaricious.
you're like way down here. You're a peasant. Right?
Yeah.
I don't see myself as a peasant whatsoever. But
Yeah.
I feel like there's certain people that have that mindset. They get
Sure.
lost in
Sure.
their success, let's
Sure.
just say.
yeah. Is that a problem for you? You got too much money, right? That's a problem.
No,
know what to do
it's
with
just
it?
like you said, I've known people
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
have a lot of money that
Mhm.
whether they're existing relationships or past relationships,
Yeah.
something went on and along the way where it's like, yo,
Mhm.
I'm not putting up with your shit.
Right.
This is how you view the world and this is how you treat people.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot
Yeah.
to like see that
Yeah.
and be like, I'm gonna hit the eject button here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's. I guess you're not. It's clear you're not worshiping money. You're a comedian,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I'm broke as hell. I make no money off this.
Isn't that weird? But it's obviously it's an art form that people love because so many
Oh, yeah.
people just do it. Like,
Oh yeah, and a lot of comedians, even when I started, like I started in January, right? So it
Yeah,
hasn't
wow,
even
that's
been
amazing.
A year.
Yeah, like
And-
when we
yeah.
started, basically.
Ooh.
Like when we started in February. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's around
wow.
the same time. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So like, a lot of comedians, local comedians, they'll tell you like, you're not going to get rich off of this.
Right.
But they continue to do it every week.
Right.
Right. So there's a passion, there's a love in the art, right? And it's funny because the first time I was here, my first joke was Center of Talking Arts.
Right.
Yeah,
Kinda
comedy's
makes
not
sense.
an artwork. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it,
Contrary.
yeah. So, and you're like, yeah, it is. But it gets me out of the house. I've always been told I was funny. Tonight, maybe not my best work, but
Well,
I
this
like
is the place where we try weird shit. Like, it's
hey,
okay.
there's
Yeah.
a wealth in making people laugh and
Yeah.
giving them a good time, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're out there and after the show and people are like, oh, that was a good set or you did good. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you're going home with a good night.
Yeah.
It's almost like giving back in a way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. It's I don't have to. I mean, it's an art form to me. It's one of the higher art forms.
Not
I
everyone's
find.
funny.
Yeah, because it kind of engages your mind and your body like at
Yeah.
the same time. You got to kind of get all of that in sync
Yeah.
to get good at it. It seems. And some
Definitely.
of the masters seem to be. They're just. It's they're gliding through it. There's no effort, right?
Oh yeah, and
It's
we all
weird.
have different styles, right? And we
Yeah.
saw that tonight. We saw
Yeah.
Larry's style, we saw Andrea's style, we saw Dale's style. Very
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
monotone. Like
Yeah.
I'm the creepy nerd guy, like loser, you know. But it was fantastic. It was fantastic.
It was
I
great.
loved watching you. By the way, Dale, you were awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, you're very fucking funny.
I'm just hanging. We can hang out. We can make a manifesto. We'll do what we gotta do.
Awesome, Papa Charlie.
Thank you.
Papa.
Get them billionaires, Dale.
Hey. So we've got basically one more performer. Unless, Simone, you want to come up after or right now? Yeah. Do you want to try a set? You can try a set or you can have a conversation. If you feel like talking on a microphone, you're welcome to. It is recorded. We have like 2 viewers on YouTube, so it's all good. Yeah, come on up. Simone Lawrence, you want to try a set or you want to have a conversation?
I don't know anything to say. We can talk.
Yeah, go for it. Try it out.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Introduce yourself. Yeah.
Wow. Hello, everybody. My name is Simone Lawrence. I am from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Hamilton, I tell everybody I work out in Hamilton, and Hamilton is like Disney World compared to Philadelphia. It's very nice place, and everybody's like, yo, you work in Hamilton, like, isn't it nervous right there? You see all like the, you know what I mean? I don't want to, am I allowed to say crackheads? Sure. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes. Okay, so I see a lot of crackheads, and I'm like, yo, those are my people. You know, back in Philadelphia, you know, they work the cheapest. You know what I mean? So like, I got a good relationship with them. You know what I mean? So I come to Hamilton, and Hamilton's such a brilliant place. Like I said, I came here like 10 years ago. I played professional football, but I got cut so many times. Yes, I did play for the Ticats. Ah, okay. So we got a lifer in here. I love it. I love the Ticats because, you know, I got cut from so many different NFL teams. I went to the NFL Combine when I was 19. I had old people look at me naked. It was very disturbing, but, you know, it was part of the game. They pulled on all my body parts to make sure that I could sustain the NFL season, but it's just part of the game. Then I went to St. Louis. When I went to St. Louis, oh, that was a tough one. I was fat and out of shape. I ended college 221 pounds. I got depressed when I didn't get drafted, and I gained 40 pounds. And then they gave me $90,000 to come there, and then I got cut. So I spent a day in St. Louis, and then I got picked up by the Philadelphia Eagles. I went to the Philadelphia Eagles, hometown team. I thought everything was going good, perfect, you know. Everything was going perfect. And then they told me I wasn't good enough again. So then I go to the UFL, and then this guy named Chris Palmer, he says, hey, son, you're going to make a lot of money. Can I watch your money for you? And I was like, yo, I made it. White guys want to watch my money. You know what I mean? So like, that was the point. I was like, all right, let's do it. You know what I mean? So then Coach Palmer, I got another opportunity. I went back to the NFL, and now I'm in Chicago. Ooh, Chicago is a different place. I went to college at University of Minnesota, so I was used to the cold, but I wasn't used to the wind. Blew my little ass all over the place, all right? In Chicago, I was there for a nice little coffee, and then I got cut there. Then I went to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, the humidity is nasty out there. You take a shower, and then you go outside, and you come back inside, and you got to take another shower. And then you go back outside, and then you got to take another shower. The humidity is nasty out there. And then I got the phone call of my dreams. I got a phone call from a guy named Eric Tillman, and he said, listen, I need you to come to Edmonton. I looked on the map. I said, where's Edmonton? I was like, oh, shit, that's almost by Alaska. It was June, no lie. If you guys want to go look at a show called Hail Mary, I was on a show called Hail Mary, and I bought a parka in June to Edmonton because I thought it was Eskimos and polar bears, of course. So I got out there, man, feeling myself, you know, with my big parka. It was summertime, and they have one of, like, the biggest malls, and they got a water park in the mall and all that other cool stuff. So I was like, all right, I fucked up on that. I should have packed some summer clothes. Didn't pack summer clothes. Not a good fit. And another thing I hated about Edmonton was it would be like 11 o'clock at night, and the sun just wouldn't go down. And, like, I didn't have any blackout lights. The sun wouldn't go down, so I struggled with that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to quit football. Football's not for me. I've been cut from all of my favorite NFL teams. I came to Canada. I tried to live with the Eskimos. I don't fit in. They're called the Elks now, politically correct, right? But then I was sitting in Minnesota, and I got a phone call from a guy named Bob Young, Scott Mitchell, Orlando, Kent Austin. He said, hey, you want to come play football in Hamilton? I was like, let me look at the map. I go over, I look at the map, And I was like, oh shit, it's on the East Coast. That's more my flavor. Midwest gets weird once you get out of a certain kind of a place. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about you Canadians, but us Americans, we categorize everything, right? Like, we know, like, we can, if somebody tells us, our first question is, where you from? Because if you tell us where you're from, we can tell you everything about yourself. There's an East Coast thing, South, down South, West Coast, Midwest, you know what I mean? So Hamilton was on the East Coast. I was like, all right, so the people are going to be a little more realer over there. They're going to be a little more vibier. So long story longer, I took the deal. I came to Hamilton in 2013, and they were like, yo, you're so good at football. And, like, this is the first time I'm hearing that I'm good at football again. Because I've been sucking, you know what I mean? Like, I've been absolutely shit according to everybody else. I've just been cut by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Chicago Bears, Philadelphia Eagles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I come to Canada, and I'm G.O.D. I was like, okay, I like this feeling, you know what I mean? And then Hamilton brought such a love for the game again. Like, I didn't really like football. I fell out of love with football after getting my ass spanked so much, saying I wasn't good enough. And then I came to Hamilton, and they're like, you're good in football again. And I was like, I am good in football. And the epiphany hit me. And then I had such a great year in 2013. We went to the Grey Cup. We lost to Saskatchewan. I hate Saskatchewan. I'll get there later. I got a lot to talk about that. Oh, this is like a TED Talk. It feels good out here. Thank you guys for listening, actually. So, I get to Hamilton. We lose in the Grey Cup. That Grey Cup we played in Saskatchewan. 4 of our players during practice could not play. And the reason they could not play in this game is because they got frostbite during practice. It was so cold in Saskatchewan. And that's when I knew that this would be my last game. Frostbite in November, not a good business. So what happened was I was like, okay, they're catching frostbite in Canada. I got an offer to go to play football back in America. And, you know, I was like, since they're catching frostbite in Canada, I'll take a contract and go back to Minnesota. You know what I mean? It made sense for me. It's nice and cold over there. So go to Minnesota because I love pain so much and being told I'm not good enough. And then they cut me again. So now my heart hurts really bad. I'm sitting in my Camaro that I just bought from a bunch of football money that I didn't earn. I'm driving. I'm like, what am I going to do? And I stop. I said, look, Hamilton loves me. I call Hamilton. I said, hey, listen, the Ottawa Red Blacks offered $50,000 more than you guys. I need you to match it. Can you guys match it? They said, absolutely not. So now I'm fucked up, yo. I'm sad as shit again. I'm like, yo, I thought you guys loved me. You guys said I was the best player that you guys ever seen. And then there's like, it's like, oh, we just can't make it work, but we could do this and that. I was like, you know what? I loved Hamilton so much. I'm going to come there, and I'm going to pretty much work for free, pretty much. Because if you do the homework on the math of the everything, at that time, I was a good player, so I was making they offered me about $150,000. But, you know, you do the math for Thai Cats. I'm American, and I have an American girlfriend at the time. Oh, my God. Do you guys know the bills on American girlfriends? Do you know the bills on American Girlfriend? An American Girlfriend bill. Okay, and it's not just it's not just a regular American girlfriend. This girl's a doctor, right? And she comes from a very prestige family, right? So, like, now she's in residency in Oakland, California. Our rent in Oakland, California was $7,500 a month, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, that was such a big bill. And then I'm living in Canada half the year. You know, I'm thugging, though. You know, I'm right there on, like, damn near Barton Street in 2013. And rent was good. I think I was paying, like, $750 back in the day. Those was, like, the glory days, you know what I mean? Going over to Abstinent. Do you guys know Abstinent over there? Absent, yeah, those were good nights, you know, just living life, you know. And when you have too many, you know, I was having too much fun in Canada, and then I go back home, try to repair my relationship that I massively fucked up. you know. So I went home, tried to prepare the relationship, and then one year it didn't work. She said, you know what? You got to make a decision. Do you want to go back to Canada, or do you want to stay in America and date a doctor and get married to a doctor? You know, that was such a hard decision. I went right to Canada, guys. Come on, what are you talking about? Yo, honestly, the reason I went to Canada because I went to Minnesota back when she was in med school because I was like, you know what? I love you and I want to marry you. So I'm going to come and play football in Minnesota. And then, you know, she gave me an ultimatum. So I was like, yo, I did all this for you. And that's what happened. I did all of it for her, and then it was all over. And then I moved out here in 2021. Now it's a different kind of lifestyle, guys. Like, you know, I'm like a little poor kid from like Upper Darby, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, like super like poor environment. My mom and dad, they're immigrants. My dad used to be super rich. He was a diplomat, but then the war broke out, Civil War broke out, and then a bunch of military guys tried to smoke my dad. And then, so we moved to file for asylum, moved to America, and then had to start all over. So once we started all over, you know, everything's like a dream now to me. Like nowadays it's kind of cool because it's like I get invited to all these places just because I played football. But then I think about it, it's like it's not because I played football, it's because of the community in Hamilton, and that's what I appreciate so much about Hamilton. Hamilton gave me a place of security when I desperately needed it. I needed something to hold on to. I didn't really have anything to hold on to. Growing up, the only thing that I did was football, and then America told me I sucked at it, and then Hamilton gave me the opportunity to be good at it. So I'm out here now. I'm retired. I've retired earlier this year, and now they just pay me to be pretty. They tell me to go to events. I go to the events, and I just hang out. And it's such an amazing opportunity. Like, I walk around the city sometimes. I mean, I live on the water over there in Grimsby and stuff, but I love walking around Hamilton just to feel the vibes. And every time I walk by this place, I always give it a little peek inside because it's such a nostalgic. I used to go to these open mics all the time in college. In college, I went to University of Minnesota, and then it was another time I didn't really have anything to hold on to. Like, I'm not really good at making friends because, like, I just do my own thing all the time. Like, I'm a popular loner, like I would like to say. Like, everybody knows me, but nobody knows me type of thing. So coming to Hamilton was like, you know, it was very warming. And after I retired in February, now I'm just running around doing my thing. And, you know, this is so nostalgic from going to University of Minnesota. I used to go to the open mics all the time and just listening to people's stories, you know what I mean? Because I'm very big in just like hearing people's prospects and aspects of life and stuff because, you know, like you just never know what you're going to hear to keep you going, you know what I mean? Because like this life shit, this shit gets hard. It's not easy for nobody. And you guys are talking about like people with money, man. I deal with people with money all the time. And I'll tell you what, boy. Man, sometimes I'm like, I don't want that much money, you know what I mean? It gets different and scary for sure, but, you know, thanks for letting me talk. That felt good, yeah?
Simone Lawrence. Thank you, Simone. That's awesome. Well, you are clearly very comfortable with a microphone. This is something you do quite often. You're kind of the face of the Ticats now, aren't you?
Yes, I am the face of the Ticats. I've been the face of the Ticats since 2014, and they said, listen, you're so good at your job that we want to pay you to stop playing. So I was like, yeah, it was chill, all right?
Isn't that great? So you live in Grimsby? Is that like on the river kind of a thing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I live
So I
right
looked
in
at some
Grimsby, like
land there,
right on the
yeah.
water.
What do you
It's
think?
very quiet.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, it's like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, right?
It's like a Hallmark movie for
Snow,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I lived in big cities all my life, and I moved to, I grew up in Hamilton.
Okay, nice.
As a kid, that's the smallest city I've ever lived in.
Yeah.
Like Istanbul and Toronto,
Oh
mostly.
shit.
Yeah, and then I came back 4 years ago, and I'm stunned at how much I like, like Ancaster. I don't know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like nature and pine trees, and you have a yard.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck was I thinking? It's not so bad at all.
It's not. Hamilton's changed drastically. I remember I moved in 2013. I parked my Camaro out, go into Denninger's. I come outside, it's broken into.
Oh, shit.
It's not like that anymore. It's a lot more cleaned up and stuff. And I really appreciate Hamilton.
Yeah, it sounds to me like you've got. Well, obviously you're the ambassador for a football team, so you have a good experience with football, like as a culture, because I got to admit, I played football, I played soccer, and I played basketball.
Yeah.
Football culture was a little disturbing to me sometimes. It was like, it gets a little weird. Maybe that's just, I don't know. It's like a weird.
I don't know. It depends what kind of football culture you're in. I say football culture is one of the hardest cultures to be a part of. Yeah. But I would beg to differ. Hockey culture is way worse.
Oh, yeah. I didn't play hockey, but it does seem a little fucked up, too, right? That's true. Yeah. No, it's like football to me seemed like win at all cost kind of a thing, right? Whereas not a lot of sports. I mean, like, sometimes the coach would say, like, break that guy's knees. If you like, what the fuck are you? Like, what are you doing? Football, you're telling kids to like, So I don't know. It's not the same everywhere.
If you look at football is America's favorite sport. Yeah. The reason it's America's favorite sport is because football is the ultimate teacher of life and how life is made, right? Because, back in the day, everybody's like, oh, it's all good as long as you try, it's okay. No, fuck that, That's win. Not the way life is. You got to win. There's winners and there's losers in everything that you do. And it's all about the spectrum you put it on. And, like, in football, it also teaches you how to work with people, right? Like, after I retired, I was like, I've never had a real job in my whole entire life. How am I going to work with all these people at Hamilton Sports Group? And you look at it, it's like, I've been dealing with people my whole life. And like after working, like doing this kind of stuff, I was like, when I have a child, I'm not even going to care about like the X's and O's, like going to school and stuff. I'm literally just going to teach my kid how to be a good person. Yeah. And how to deal with people, right?
Yeah, that's like I think that's key, right? It's like you're providing a platform for them to grow on.
Exactly.
And if that platform is stable and solid and has, just the basics. Yeah. It doesn't take much. It's basically love.
Seriously. Like, I didn't go to Harvard or anything or do anything like crazy, but I just was given the opportunity. And I tell people all the time, like, I got a lot of friends, like street friends. And when I say street friends, I mean just like guys in Philadelphia that maybe never had the opportunity that I had. And then, like, if they were gifted with the opportunity that I had, they would smoke this shit. Because there's a lot of kids working that are just, la, 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 la.
But there's a lot of wasted genius, too, right? In a lot of those places. And even Africa, I guess, where your family's from, right? There's a lot of wasted genius there. Yeah. Like, I can't imagine how many, like, you just look at the population, just do the math, like, crunch it out. There's got to be, like, thousands of super geniuses that just like working in a mine somewhere. Like, it's such a shame, right?
And it's universal. It's everywhere. Yeah. It's in sports too. Yeah. I wasn't the most talented athlete in my high school.
No.
No, I wasn't. But I was just like super focused on what I wanted to do. A lot of people wanted to do everything else as well.
Yeah, you got it. Well, that seems to be the key with anybody that's successful. You got to have the focus on it because you're just not going to follow through. You're not going to get there. Right?
Exactly, follow through is important.
Do you remember? Like, did you live in Africa or your parents?
No, I never lived in Africa.
Because that's a really interesting political history back where you're from.
Yeah,
right?
it's all documented. All this stuff's on YouTube and Google and stuff. Yeah. But like honestly, I was conceived in Rome, Italy. Oh. That's why a black guy from Philadelphia name is Simone Marco. My mom thought it'd be player, like, give him Italian name and stuff.
Does anybody speak Italian in the family?
My dad speaks Italian. My older brother speaks Italian. My older brother, he's like a genius, gives like commencement speeches and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's amazing. And Hamilton has a lot. I mean, when I was growing up here as a kid, everyone seemed to be Italian, at least the neighborhoods I lived in. Yeah. I don't know if it's still the case, but there was a huge culture.
The Italians are strong out here for sure.
Gabagoo is strong.
They're strong out here.
Simone Lawrence, thank you very much. That's awesome. Thank you for dropping by and having a conversation. That's great. Oh, okay, Scott. Well, I can talk. I can talk about the apocalypse. If you want. I don't know. You know what? I love those AMAs that people do. I think, who was it that, I think Larry was talking about having kind of a comedian's event where we get on stage with like 4 people and you just give them like a single word to start with as a seed and just see what happens. Like, I would love that. I don't know. Are you guys into that improvisation? Yeah. And I think,
Off the top freestyle.
right.
I
Yeah.
grew up on that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But, oh yeah, didn't you mention you did slam poetry?
No, so it's called Euro Rap Battle, and pretty much like you give any kind of word, and they just like and they kind of just freestyle around the world, around the word. And I just think it's the most creative thing because I do a lot of public speaking and I know how hard it is to speak in front of people, even when you have a topic. But to go up there like emptiness and not have anything to talk about and just whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, that's
the
elite
best
brain
though,
power.
right? Yeah.
It is. And then you get the real too, because whatever comes to your mind, that's what you say, right?
Yeah. And see, I think in that case, your mind doesn't have enough time to figure shit out. So really, it's your body taking over.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And that's where the talent is. It's like,
that's right.
Who is this person under pressure? Because every time you, like, I was always taught by, like, all the old school gangsters and stuff growing up is, like, you never judge a person when he's comfortable. It's all about what they can adapt to.
Oh, that's a good point, right? Yeah.
Like, if somebody's a comedian and they get up here, this is their environment. You know what I mean? But let's see somebody, like, outside their environment. That's what you want to see.
Or even it's like when you eat shit on stage, like how do you deal with that? That's really an important thing, it seems, for this art form.
And it's the only thing that's ever promised in life too is adversity. You know
That's
what I mean?
right,
It's
yeah.
all about adversity
You gotta get through it.
responses.
Simone Lawrence, once again, thank you very much. All right. Well, we have our last performer, and we've recently discovered this guy here. He's kind of hanging out, and he's done some musical comedy. Well, I mean, he does music and he does comedy. It's not necessarily musical comedy. Love the music, love the comedy. He's going to do some comedy tonight. Scott Danley. Here, take one of these. Maybe this one. I don't know. Whichever reaches.
I've been having this real fucking problem, okay? Been having this huge problem with alcohol. All right? Terrible. Not alcoholism, alcohol tolerance. I've spent $56 on alcohol today and I don't feel drunk. This is terrible. Nobody warned me about this when they said you're going to be an alcoholic. You're going to pay $47 a night just to get fucking drunk. Okay, I'm starting to feel it now. My 72nd drink. All right? So fuck alcohol tolerance. They have a meeting for that? Yeah, I have a big tolerance, guys. It's getting bad. I paid $72 today. Not drunk. Just look over at the guy. He's like, I'm not drunk either. This sucks. Okay, bust out the. Let's get some blow in here. Let's fucking ramp it up. No, I am actually a little drunk. Okay, so thank God. I'm a little drunk, but my tolerance is definitely building. You know what I like, though? I like that cancel culture is actually here, though, for real. The type of cancel culture we need. We're killing CEOs. That's what we want. That's the kind of cancel them. That's what we want. We want full cancellations. Oh, my God. Okay. So, if I had $1 for every time I thought about committing suicide, I'd have a gun. And yo, I might pull a Joe Rogan set. I'm so drunk right now. I might pull a Joe Rogan set and just hump the chair. I'm a chimpanzee, dude, in a past life. I'm a reincarnation of a monkey. Okay, I'll do jokes. Oh, fuck. White Claws. This is how I try to act like a normal guy. I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm a fucking regular dude. 5%. Okay, anyways. I normally don't make women wet, but I usually dampen their spirits. Okay. Yo, man, this gay guy one time. I saw this gay guy. Okay. Such a gay guy. This guy, that he was actually at a gay pride festival. That's how gay he was. He was so proud of it, right? He was so gay about it, too. He was walking around all gay and proud. This guy was fully naked, okay? Fully naked, fully gay, and fully proud. No penis, okay? And I thought to myself, wow, to walk around that proud, to be that gay, and to have no penis really takes a lot of balls. Thank you. Shit, dude, I am fucking hammered, bro. Okay. You gotta put these shows, let's put these shows at noon. Let's accommodate the world for me and my problems. No, I was recently doing some gay shit, actually. Recently. No, because what happened was, because I'm a misogynist, right? I'm a misogynist, right? So here's like 12 o'clock of misogyny, right? If it's a clock, work with me here. You got 12 o'clock of misogyny. Okay? 12 o'clock is men are better than women. Okay? That's where I was. I was erect. I was an erect misogynist. Men are better than women. And then you go a little further, you get like, men are stronger, right? Men are smarter. Men are faster. Right? We're better at chess. We're better generals in war. Okay? Our cocks are harder. We are more handsome. We dress better. And then eventually you just get to like suck better cock. You know what I mean? So I went around the wheel of misogyny, right? So I'm like going around the misogyny wheel. And I finally ended up blowing a dude. Right? Like I'd come full circle. I finally ended up blowing a dude. Because I was so misogynistic. It was the most misogynistic blowjob you'll ever see in your life. But this guy had a super gay dick. Ever see a gay dick? It was going straight and I just got distracted. That's what happened to me. It was going straight and then I just got distracted a little bit. Okay, whatever. Saw this one guy one time though. When I was walking down the street. Fuck, I shouldn't have got this drunk. Guys, the world. 2 people. I'm not gay, okay? I only dance like this and look like this for the cameras. Okay, so no, this one guy though. Like I'm walking down the street, and this guy, he's like giving me this subtle gesture. He's like he's doing this as I'm walking down the street. Very subtly at me. Camera. People of the world, 2 people. And, the weird thing about getting blown by a Filipino guy. You know? No, because I got to his house. This is when I realized gayness is a spectrum. I got to this guy's house. He had pictures of his wife and kids everywhere. Okay? No, I didn't even blow him. He blew me for like 20 minutes behind a dumpster. He was just like so into it. That's the thing about gay guys, dude. They give these passionate blowjobs. I don't want to freak any of you straight guys out. I want to freak you out. I'm not trying to bother you, but it's true. You ever get a chance to get blown by a gay guy? Do it. Okay? I have a mediocre dick. I even told the one guy, I'm like, yo, bro, my dick it sucks. Okay, my dick is terrible. He was like, I just want to taste it. Just let me fucking. I'm like, oh, okay. Go ahead. Go right ahead. I'll let you fucking do it. What you gotta do? I ended up in a place that was very black, filled with black people. This one time. Yeah. I was in this one gay place, very gay place. I was looking for one guy, and then I missed him somehow. He was still at the after hours. I got to this one other place, and there was black people running around. I'm not gonna lie. I made sure I knew where my wallet was. Okay. Not gonna lie. But I sucked this guy's big gay cock. But I'm native, so to me it wasn't really. It was more of a bow and arrow. You know what I mean? It was the cultures were fucking combining. God damn it. Next set, I won't drink. There'll be 3 people there. Okay? This is about as thick as his cock was, though. It was about this thick. Yeah, it was huge. Anyways, so I think they call it climaxing because the only way I can come is if I climb in her window and hit her with an axe. Yeah, that was a joke. That was a joke for the people. Yo, Pin the Tail on a Donkey was a game I played as a child. I distinctly remember running around blind and dizzy trying to hit ass. I'm gonna do that tonight. People. Both of you. You wanna get down tonight? Motherfuckers? I'm gonna spit on this thing. You know what I'm saying? Okay. No, they have nice mics here, nice people. I love Jake. What a fucking badass Jake is. No, let's be real for 2 minutes. Jake's a fucking sick guy. And his buddy over here, I don't know your name, Dexter. Yo, you guys fucking smash, bro. I love these guys so much. They let me come here and just like smash. Yeah, do what I gotta do. Okay. What else was I gonna say? So yeah. I wish they made condoms for my penis. Oh wait, no, not for my penis. My heart. Yeah, that was bad. Condoms are for your penis, Dylan. Okay, this is getting real bad. I'm gonna look at my notes because I don't care. Oh yeah, okay, here's one. Here's one for you. I got the light. Here's one, last one. I like fucking black chicks. Okay? White chicks, pale in comparison. Okay, that's stupid. Anyways, I wish I wouldn't have looked at my notes for this totally professional show. I love everybody here. No, this guy's dope though. I love him. Look at his vest. Look at his fucking vest.
Scott Danley. It's my gay, 90s gay cowboy look, I think.
Oh, really?
It's
You're
kind of
going gay on me?
You know, like urban cowboy. Yeah, I guess they're playing for the home team. That's why.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
I resonate with vests.
Do you? Yeah?
Yeah, I resonate with vests. I call myself, I guess, by default, I'm bi.
Okay, yeah. By default.
Well, because I've done both.
Right. Yeah, I
so
guess.
that means I have to be, right? Like,
well, I mean, it might not be your preference. Like you can change and say I'm not bi anymore. Now I'm gay or I'm not this or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the freedom to do this, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, sure. Free will comes into
play. Free willy, yeah. You said you're native.
I'm native, yeah.
Like from
native.
this area, native?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Grand River.
Grand River, yeah.
Yep.
Another Grimsby type area?
Brantford. The Grand River runs.
Yeah. Right.
And it leads into one of the lakes. I don't know.
So is that river important in that culture?
Yes. The Grand River is important to me as a native, for sure.
Yeah. Seems like it should be. It's kind of winding right through the middle of that whole area.
Yeah, it represents kind of like, for me, like it represents sort of the vitality of life and just like the life force that just kind of flows through all of us and like continues even when I think that if you use a river as an archetype, what would it be, right? It would be like stamina, never ending. always moving.
Right.
You know, it's just kind of like this no quit kind of like outlast.
Mm-hmm.
It's still there.
Yeah. It's also cleansing. It brings life through. It washes things out. It's lots of things happening.
Yeah.
And they're growing food from it. And I guess it sustains life. Yeah. I mean, it seems like that would be important.
It's kind of eternity
Yeah.
to me. It
Yeah.
represents sort of eternity and how, like, we are eternal beings in a temporary body, I guess.
We are eternal beings. So, okay. So you feel like this continues, like after we die?
Well, I think eternity is what this world's hinting at, but
Mm.
can't achieve because we're temporary.
I kind of get that. Yeah, it's like we're stuck in this. I kind of think of it this way: we're kind of stuck in. Our minds are digital, but the world is analog. Like when we reflect on the world, we're seeing it in symbols and words and ideas that are a reflection of reality. And as a result, like it has to be like digital. It has to have like points, like quantum.
So we can process it.
So we can process it,
And
understand
just
it, and
live
communicate it.
and-
We
yeah.
have to have like
and not end up
structure.
like one of her ex-boyfriends talking
Right.
to a fridge.
Well, there's a very fine line between sanity and insanity, really. You know? Yeah.
She told me that. I laughed so
Yeah.
fucking hard. I'm like, not once, but twice? Really,
Yeah.
dude? Okay.
Twice, yeah, that's the type.
Oh, only one? Okay, my bad.
Yeah. Alcohol is, I find, is
know.
the worst drug.
I know, it's
It's-
so bad, dude. I drink so much
Yeah.
lately. And I would
Oh,
have probably
really?
made more people laugh. I would have made 4 people laugh.
You could
today
have like
if it wasn't for how
30%
fucking-
more
yeah.
laughter.
Yeah. I mean, I've been drinking since, I don't know, it's 10, 12 now.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's something that, you know what though?
What
I-
about weed?
What?
Do you-
No, I
no?
do. I do shrooms every 3 days.
Every 3 days?
Yeah.
Like a trip?
No.
Or you mean
I
microdosing?
microdose every
Okay.
3 days because
Yeah.
I feel like it's a battle between the shrooms and the alcohol,
Oh.
and I'm trying to see which one will reign supreme.
Right.
That's my
But you don't do
goal.
them at the same
Yeah,
time?
I do, but I'm just
Because when you're
hoping that-
coming down from mushrooms, sometimes a beer is a good idea.
Yeah, I'm just
yeah.
hoping the shrooms win in the end, and then I can save my soul
Yeah.
in the process. That's
Good.
what I'm hoping.
So is the microdosing effect, like, are you noticing something? Is that
Well, it makes me a little more conscious, I guess.
really? Yeah.
And more aware.
Day-to-day effects? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Hmm.
I don't know why I drink so much. So the alcohol or the mushrooms kind of help me tap into maybe why a little.
Right, yeah. There's a
then
lot
that
of stories
battle-
of people quitting after taking mushrooms. Yeah.
So there's like that battle, and I think I just think if I do it long enough, eventually I'll just cut the booze out.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm relying. Maybe I'm like, oh, how do you quit one drug? Do more. Do more substance.
But a different one.
A different substance.
Ironically, that works sometimes.
I think it might. I'm
You know,
hoping it does.
sometimes they inject you with a disease to kill another disease,
Yeah.
and it works.
Yeah, like I mean, if you have cancer,
Yeah.
you know,
They
fuck
put some
AIDS.
toxins in you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
It
I don't
works. I
hell
think
with
COVID actually cured my uncle of cancer.
Did it? Did
It
he
seemed like
die?
it. Like
Did he
this.
die? Is
Well,
that
no,
what
he didn't. Like this guy was about to die of cancer, and like it seemed hopeless. And then he got COVID. It's like, oh, that's it. It's over. And he just started recovering from everything. Like it was fucking weird.
Yeah. No, and I mean, even when I talked to her earlier, she's like, maybe you have a fucking, maybe you're an alcoholic. I'm like, maybe, dude. But you know what?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, I don't know. I tried. I think comedy is also a redeeming factor.
Use the mic. Yeah.
Comedy is also, I think, a redeeming factor because if you love something enough,
Mm-hmm.
you want to do your best. I mean, you know, so
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So I think comedy also it's kind of like a glow. It's kind of like for me like a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
Even though I know I'm this fucked up person, you know, who's been through like shit that would fuck anyone up. I think, you know, but I
Sure.
think like comedy is just like if you like it.
Yeah.
And I think if you're doing it for that reason, I think eventually you would do what you needed to do to make yourself as good as you possibly could be for the people that you're trying to
Sure.
make laugh.
Yeah.
So I think that's why like I show up. Because if say the other alternative would be, hey, if I was just drinking at home,
Right. You know, it's much better to be with people.
Yeah, it's much better. It's much better to embarrass myself.
Sure,
in front
of course.
everybody.
There's value in that. But you're also a very talented musician, I've found.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like your music.
Yeah, which I hate. And
Why is that?
I hate it because I was always good at everything creatively. You know, from the time I was like very young, I remember making people laugh, and I would sing songs to people, and like my earliest memories, and I would draw really great drawings, and there's really I hate the fact that music kind of taunts me and fucks with me because I'm good, like, and you know you're good at stuff without being arrogant.
Sure.
You know if you're good at something.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that the real passion and the real love is comedy. And that's what pisses me off. So I maybe like, it bothers me because maybe I'll find some way to do it both.
Well,
Like, I'm
you did. You had a
bisexual,
set.
so, like,
Yeah.
maybe I could.
You could.
I
You had
could
a set
probably
where you
pull it
had
off.
some song that had some comedic parts to it. Like,
Yeah.
that worked.
I think I could.
Yeah.
I think. And
But
I
there's
still,
a cheese factor to it. Like, you know, like comedy songs are kind of cheesy, but you could do it in a cool way.
yeah.
You know, you had some cool music
But
to it.
I think it goes back to what I think maybe he was saying about like the tragedy of like life and how like comedy will reveal itself to you when you're really fucked up, like really bad, you know? And you're sitting there and you're going like, okay, this is me in a position where I have no one. I'm going through this horrible thing alone. And it's really desolate and it's really horrible and it's so much worse. And I think he described, is that what you described up there? And how it's so much worse than what a lot of people even get, you know? And when you're in those moments and the only thing you can think to do is make people laugh, I think that's your heart kind of
Wow, yeah.
glowing and saying, you know what? There's one thing in this world that really matters to you.
Yeah.
And for me, it was comedy.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I'm here as a fucking drunk and a lunatic and whatever else I am.
You're trying to spread the joy.
It's the only thing
Yeah.
that really mattered when I was in a place where it got really bad. Like, and a lot of my ex-girlfriends, they'll tell me like, you know, a lot of stereotype about natives is they drink, they fight, and they're funny.
Okay.
So maybe
is that it?
it could maybe be a little bit of the native DNA too.
You got to take what you can get.
Yeah.
Scott Danley, thank you very much. Awesome. Thank you, Scott. That was great. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Great show. I loved it. Had a great time. Thanks to all our guests for another wonderful, wacky cable access TV show that we have here. So this is going to probably be more like monthly rather than every couple of weeks coming up in the new year. But thanks again. Great night. See you again soon. Take care.